What I often notice in people is the silent waste of something that never comes back: time. Years ago, I also underestimated the value of every minute. I thought I had all the time in the world to fix mistakes or pursue my dreams until I realized that time is like sand slipping through an hourglass. You can't hold on to it. What woke me up was understanding that lost time is lost opportunity. Money can be earned again, but time can never be replaced. Ask yourself, am I spending my time on what truly matters? Think about this. Every minute you spend procrastinating or getting distracted is taken away from something that could build the future you want. I often say, if not now, when? If not me, who? This mindset changed my life. When we started Alibaba, I knew I had to prioritize decisions that would create long-term impact. This clarity didn't come out of nowhere. It came from the need to manage my time as the most valuable asset I had. Interestingly, many people trade their time for money without realizing they're doing it for insignificant amounts. But those who understand the true value of time know that it's a much more powerful currency. Using it to create something meaningful, whether it's learning new skills or investing in projects with growth potential, can transform your life. I like to remind young people that wisely used time can create a bigger impact than any initial financial resource. The key to managing time is prioritization. When my team began building Alibaba, we worked tirelessly in a small apartment. We didn't have cutting-edge technology or major investors, but we were clear on where we wanted to direct our efforts. That focus on making every moment count allowed us to achieve unimaginable results. It's like planting seeds. You only harvest something great if you plant at the right time. So ask yourself, what are you putting off because you think there will be time later? That's a trap. The truth is, the future isn't guaranteed. Opportunities won't wait. When you start treating your time with respect, every second becomes a tool for shaping the life you want. The starting point for any great achievement is believing in yourself, even when no one else does. Great ideas face resistance, and it's not uncommon for people around you to doubt your vision. But the truth is, the first step to turning dreams into reality is having the courage to say, I believe in what I can do, even if no one else does. This confidence is the engine that drives any project, no matter the circumstances. There's something powerful about believing in your potential. The confidence you project not only strengthens yourself, but also attracts others who begin to see the possibility of success. History shows that great leaders and innovators face skepticism before gaining recognition. It's not about proving something to others, but about knowing clearly what you can achieve. After all, as I often say, if not now, when? If not me, who? Building confidence is also a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It involves preparation, learning, and accepting challenges. When you commit to growing, failures aren't defeats. They're steps in the learning process. This mindset turns every obstacle into a chance to get stronger. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment or external approval, it's essential to start and adjust as you go. A fascinating thing is that people often wait to see results before they believe in what you're doing. But that shouldn't be a reason to hesitate. Believing in your potential is what enables you to move forward, even in the toughest moments. As an old proverb says, the river cuts the rock not by its power, but by its persistence. Confidence is the force that sustains that persistence. If there's one secret to inspiring others to believe, it's this: start with yourself. The world responds to conviction and clarity. Reflect sincerely. What are you waiting for to take the first step? The future is built by those who dare to believe it can be different. Few things in life are as underestimated as time. Many treat this resource as if it were infinite, but the reality is quite different. While money can be recovered, the time that passes never returns. This is a lesson I learned by observing the choices of those who achieve sustainable success. These people know how to use time to create value rather than wasting it on activities that don't contribute to the future they desire. What's curious is that most people live trading time for money. That's not necessarily wrong, but the question lies in how to make that trade intelligently. Those who truly understand the power of time know that it must be used to build something greater, whether it's a business, a skill, or a lasting impact. The secret is turning time into an asset, something that works for you and generates results even when you're not present. One of the most powerful truths about time is that it's a common element for everyone. No matter how rich or poor someone is, no one can buy an extra second in a day. This means that how you manage your 24 hours truly defines your future. That's why anyone who wants to thrive learns to use time to solve problems and create solutions that scale, generating impact for many. When I began to understand this, I realized that time is like a seed. The earlier you plant and the more attention you give to cultivation, the greater the harvest will be in the future. The same principle applies to personal development, learning new skills, and building valuable relationships. This is why investing your time strategically isn't just smart, it's essential for success. And here's the question you need to ask yourself. How are you using your time today? This reflection may be uncomfortable, but it's crucial. Remember, time waits for no one. Every minute used consciously is a step closer to building the future you imagine. In the world of business, hard work is important, but it alone doesn't guarantee success. The truth is, the market doesn't pay for effort, it rewards perceived value. That's why a football player can earn millions while others, equally hardworking, earn far less. This isn't about fairness, it's about perception. Understanding how the market defines value is the key to turning effort into reward. At the start of Alibaba, we weren't well known, and many didn't believe we could compete with large international companies. But we had a clear vision to create an ecosystem that connected small Chinese businesses to the global market. We didn't have money or advanced technology, but we had one indispensable thing. We solved a real problem. We helped small businesses find customers worldwide, and the market recognized the value in that. Value in the market isn't about what you do. It's about how people feel the impact of what you do. At Alibaba, we always focused on something I consider essential, listening to our customers. It's easy to want to create the perfect product, but real success comes when you solve customer pain points in a way they'll never forget. If you understand this, you're building something the market values. The secret isn't just in hard work, but in the scale of the problem you solve. Small problems bring small returns. Big problems bring big rewards. When Alibaba started, small businesses in China struggled to compete with large corporations. We created a bridge for them to access the global market, and that completely changed the game. We grew not with cutting-edge technology at the start, but by solving real, relevant problems. Here's a vital reflection. How can you create value in a way the market recognizes? Hard work is essential, but it's only part of the equation. The market doesn't reward invisible effort, it rewards visible impact. Understanding this puts you one step ahead. If you ask me what the formula for success is, I would say it's not as complicated as it seems. Success is about solving problems. The bigger the problem you solve, the greater the reward will be. It doesn't matter whether you're building a global company or just starting a small business. The focus should always be on identifying where the problem lies and working to solve it in a creative and efficient way. In the early days of Alibaba, we saw a major challenge. Small businesses in China had high-quality products, but struggled to reach customers outside the country. The barrier wasn't just the lack of technology, it was the lack of access. The solution? Create a platform where these businesses could sell globally. By solving this problem, we created value for millions of entrepreneurs. This is the essence of success, finding a real problem that no one is solving and creating a solution that impacts lives. But make no mistake, solving big problems doesn't mean you have to start with something huge. Big ideas often begin with small steps. You see something that others haven't noticed, or solve a challenge that seems small but was being overlooked. When you solve something that's truly relevant to people, they will reward you with trust, loyalty, and eventually, success. What separates those who succeed from those who don't is not just talent or luck. It's the willingness to face problems as opportunities. Failure is often just a lesson in disguise. When you fail, you learn to adjust your approach and improve. That's how we built Alibaba. We didn't get it right on the first try, but each mistake brought us closer to a solution that worked better. So the question is, what problems can you solve today? You don't need to invent something revolutionary, but you do need to be willing to observe, listen, and act. The equation for success isn't in what you dream, but in what you do to turn those dreams into real solutions. One of the most important lessons I've learned in business is this. Listen to your customers. They will tell you what they need, what's missing, and where your opportunities lie. Businesses fail when they focus too much on their own ideas and forget to hear the people they are trying to serve. At Alibaba, we've always placed the customer at the center of everything we do. If you solve their problems, they will trust you, and trust is the foundation of any successful business. In the early days, we didn't have advanced technology or a large team, but we had a clear goal: make life easier for small businesses. We listened to their struggles, access to markets, lack of visibility, and limited resources, and built solutions around those challenges. That's why we've always believed that if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. By focusing on the customer's needs instead of trying to force your way, you adapt and create something they truly value. It's not just about solving problems, it's about making the customer feel understood and valued. When people sense that you genuinely care, they don't just buy your product, they become loyal advocates for your brand. At Alibaba, we always prioritized building trust with our users. It wasn't about making quick profits, but about creating a long-term relationship that benefited everyone involved. The best innovations often come from simply listening. The ideas for some of Alibaba's most successful features, like streamlined payment systems and logistics solutions, came from feedback from our customers. They knew what they needed better than we did, and all we had to do was pay attention. This approach transformed our business and helped us build a platform that millions rely on today. Focusing on the customer's needs allows you to build solutions that truly impact lives. By doing this consistently, you don't just grow a business, you create value that stands the test of time. The true key to building wealth lies in scalability. It's not enough to create a great product or service. You need to design it in a way that can grow beyond you. A small restaurant can serve a neighborhood, but a franchise can serve an entire country. At Alibaba, this mindset drove everything we built. We didn't just want to help a few businesses, we wanted to empower millions. Scalable solutions allow you to multiply your impact without being limited by time or physical resources. When we developed the Alibaba platform, we focused on creating systems that could connect buyers and sellers from anywhere in the world. The power of technology is that it lets you extend your reach infinitely. It's like planting a single tree that grows into an entire forest. But scalability isn't just about technology. It's about creating processes and systems that others can replicate. At Alibaba, we worked hard to build infrastructure that small businesses could use independently. Payment systems, logistics networks, and marketing tools were designed not just for us, but for our users. This approach allowed us to grow exponentially while helping others do the same. The beauty of scalable solutions is that they create freedom. Once your system is running efficiently, it works for you, even when you're not there. This is how businesses transcend from being good to becoming great. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter, creating mechanisms that can handle growth effortlessly. When you focus on scalability, you create something that has the potential to last. It's not just a business strategy, it's a mindset. Scalable solutions are the foundation for abundance, allowing you to achieve success that reaches far beyond your initial efforts. Successful entrepreneurs understand they can't do everything alone. As your business grows, it becomes impossible to manage every detail yourself. That's why automation and delegation are not just helpful, they're essential. At Alibaba, we learned this lesson early. To scale, we had to let go of manual processes and implement systems that could run efficiently without constant oversight. Automation is about freeing your time to focus on what truly matters. For example, creating automated customer service tools or streamlining payment systems doesn't just improve efficiency, it also improves the experience for users. It's not about removing the human touch, it's about using technology to enhance it. The more you automate, the more time you have to innovate and grow. Delegation is equally important. Many entrepreneurs make the mistake of trying to control everything. But building a strong team means trusting others to take responsibility. At Alibaba, I often told my team, "I'm not the smartest person here. That's why I need you to help me." This humility allowed us to empower leaders within the organization, making the business stronger than any single individual. Implementing smart processes goes beyond automation. It's about creating systems that are intuitive and adaptable. Whether it's improving logistics or simplifying how products are listed on a platform, smart processes remove friction and allow growth to happen naturally. This is how businesses transform into ecosystems that thrive on efficiency. When you combine automation with smart processes, you create a machine that works for you, not the other way around. It's a shift that every entrepreneur must embrace if they want to scale and succeed in the long run. Chasing money as an end goal is one of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make. The real focus should be on creating value. Money is just the result. At Alibaba, our mission was never about becoming wealthy. It was about helping small businesses succeed. The moment you shift your mindset from chasing profit to solving problems, everything changes. When you focus on creating something useful, money flows naturally. Think about it. The most successful companies in the world didn't start with the goal of becoming rich. They started with a vision to impact lives. At Alibaba, we work to make it easier for small businesses to access global markets. That focus on value is what led to financial success, not the other way around. The irony is, the more you chase money, the harder it becomes to find. Money is like a shadow. It follows you when you walk toward your purpose, but disappears when you try to grab it directly. I've seen countless entrepreneurs fail because they put profits before people. But those who prioritize solving real problems always find success in the end. When you stop chasing money, you start to see opportunities more clearly. Instead of focusing on short-term gains, you invest in long-term solutions. This shift not only builds trust with your customers, but also creates sustainable growth for your business. It's not about how much you earn today. It's about how much value you can create over time. The greatest reward isn't wealth. It's the impact you make. When you focus on making a difference, the financial success will follow. This is the principle that drives not just businesses, but also legacies. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. If there's one lesson every entrepreneur needs to embrace, it's this: fail fast and learn faster. At Alibaba, we didn't get everything right the first time. In fact, we failed countless times. But every mistake taught us something valuable and brought us closer to the solutions that worked. The fear of failure often paralyzes people, preventing them from taking risks. But the truth is, without taking risks, there's no growth. Some of the most successful entrepreneurs in history have faced repeated rejections and setbacks. Personally, I've faced more rejections than I can count. Jobs, opportunities, and even investors said no to Alibaba. But every no was a stepping stone that shaped our resilience and sharpened our vision. The secret to failing well is to fail fast. The faster you recognize what doesn't work, the sooner you can pivot to something that does. It's like testing an idea on a small scale before investing everything into it. At Alibaba, we often ran small experiments to gauge what worked best. If it failed, we moved on quickly. If it succeeded, we scaled it up. Failure is also the best teacher. It reveals weaknesses in your strategy and forces you to innovate. Some of Alibaba's biggest breakthroughs came from ideas that initially seemed like failures. For example, when early versions of our platform didn't attract enough users, we realized we needed to focus on building trust. That insight led to features like secure payment systems, which became one of our greatest strengths. When you embrace failure as part of the process, you develop the resilience needed to succeed. Every challenge, every setback, is an opportunity to grow stronger and smarter. The key is not avoiding failure, but learning how to use it to your advantage. Every big idea starts with a small step. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the thought of solving massive problems, but success often begins with the simplest solutions. At Alibaba, we didn't start by trying to change the world overnight. We started by addressing one small issue: helping small businesses in China sell their products online. The beauty of starting small is that it allows you to focus. Instead of spreading yourself thin, you can dedicate your energy to solving one problem really well. When we began building Alibaba, we listened to the small complaints and frustrations of local businesses. Their challenges were straightforward but significant: lack of visibility, payment issues, and difficulty shipping products. By solving these small problems, we laid the foundation for something much bigger. Small problems are often overlooked, but they hold immense potential. Think about it. Everyday frustrations like waiting in long lines or struggling to find reliable services have led to some of the most successful businesses in the world. When you solve a problem that seems minor but affects many people, you create something that resonates deeply. Starting small also gives you the freedom to experiment without fear of massive failure. You can test ideas, gather feedback, and improve as you go. It's like planting a seed. It may not seem like much at first, but with time and care, it grows into something substantial. This is how Alibaba evolved, from a small website helping local businesses to a global platform connecting millions. The key is to start. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity or the grand idea. Focus on the small, tangible problems around you and let your solutions grow naturally. Over time, those small wins build momentum, opening doors to larger opportunities. Your mindset is the foundation of everything you achieve. The way you view challenges, opportunities, and even money can determine how far you go. For many people, their beliefs about success are shaped by their upbringing and environment. But if you want to create something extraordinary, you need to reprogram the way you think. When I started Alibaba, I didn't come from a wealthy background. My early life taught me how to work hard, but it also taught me to see limitations. To succeed, I had to change my mindset and believe that I could achieve something greater. One of the most powerful shifts was understanding that money isn't the goal, it's a tool. When you stop chasing wealth and start focusing on impact, success follows naturally. Changing your mindset also means embracing challenges as opportunities. Every obstacle is a chance to grow and learn. Many people see failure as the end, but it's actually the beginning of innovation. This perspective allowed Alibaba to overcome countless hurdles. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to us?" we asked, "What can we learn from this?" Another critical mindset shift is adopting a growth mentality. Instead of thinking, "I'm not good at this," say, "I can improve with practice." This approach keeps you open to learning and adapting. It's the difference between staying stuck and unlocking your potential. Education is key, not just formal education, but continuous learning from experiences, books, and others around you. When you change your mindset, you open the door to endless possibilities. Success begins in your mind, and the way you think shapes the reality you create. A positive, growth-oriented mindset isn't just a tool for business. It's a way to transform every aspect of your life. The foundation of Alibaba was built on solving problems. When we started, we didn't have billions in funding, advanced technology, or government support. What we had was a clear vision to help small businesses in China access global markets. At the time, this was a massive challenge. Most small enterprises didn't know how to sell online, and even fewer had the resources to compete internationally. But instead of seeing this as a limitation, we saw it as an opportunity. I often remind people that solving local problems can lead to global impact. When we created Alibaba, our goal wasn't to become a giant corporation. It was simply to provide a platform where businesses could thrive. By focusing on what was right in front of us, we ended up building something far bigger than we ever imagined. The key is to start with what you know and expand from there. A significant part of this process is persistence. There were moments when no one believed in us. Investors rejected us, competitors underestimated us, and the path forward often felt uncertain. But solving problems isn't about instant results, it's about consistent effort. I've always believed that the impossible is just the beginning. When you approach challenges with this mindset, you realize that growth is a natural result of solving meaningful issues. Alibaba's journey taught me that true success comes from understanding the people you're serving. Every solution we created, from payment systems to logistics networks, was designed to address real pain points faced by small businesses. This focus on practical, scalable solutions not only helped our customers, but also fueled our growth as a company. Solving problems is a win-win. It creates value for others and opens doors for you. When you solve problems, you're not just building a business, you're creating change. This change doesn't need to start on a global scale. It can begin with one idea, one step, and one solution. What matters is that you take action and stay committed. Growth will follow. Many people mistake money as the ultimate goal, but what they're truly seeking is freedom. Freedom to decide how to spend their time, whom to spend it with, and which dreams to pursue. Money is simply a tool to achieve that freedom. I've always told my team at Alibaba that the real wealth lies in having choices, not in the numbers in your bank account. When we started Alibaba, we weren't chasing wealth. Our focus was on creating something meaningful that could help others. Ironically, by focusing on impact, the financial rewards came naturally. This taught me an important lesson. If you prioritize money over everything else, you'll always feel like you're chasing something out of reach. But if you prioritize creating value, freedom becomes a byproduct of your success. True freedom comes from building systems that work for you. At Alibaba, we worked hard to create processes and platforms that could operate independently of any single person. This scalability gave us the freedom to grow without being limited by time or resources. It's the difference between working for your business and having your business work for you. But freedom isn't just about business. It's about life. It's about having the time to spend with loved ones, explore your passions, and give back to your community. I've always believed that success is meaningless if it doesn't allow you to enjoy the things that truly matter. This is why I emphasize the importance of balance, not just between work and life, but between ambition and gratitude. In the end, what people really want is control over their own lives. That's what freedom represents. And while money can help provide that, it's not the only measure of success. The real question is, how are you using your resources, time, energy, and skills to create the freedom you desire? Fear is one of the biggest obstacles to success. It holds you back, paralyzes decision-making, and keeps you from taking the risks necessary to grow. I've met countless entrepreneurs who had great ideas, but were too afraid to act on them. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, or even fear of success, it all comes down to the same thing: letting doubt control your actions. In the early days of Alibaba, fear could have stopped us at any moment. We had no guarantee of success, no roadmap to follow, and plenty of people telling us we'd fail. But instead of giving in to those fears, we chose to move forward. Each challenge we faced became an opportunity to prove ourselves, not to others, but to ourselves. Every problem we overcame brought us closer to our goals. Fear is a natural part of taking risks, but it doesn't have to define you. The key is to acknowledge your fear and move forward anyway. It's like walking into the unknown. Scary at first, but once you take that first step, you realize it's not as daunting as it seemed. The only true failure is giving up before you even try. Overcoming fear requires courage, but courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means acting in spite of it. I've always believed that every challenge is a stepping stone to success. The more you face your fears, the stronger and more confident you become. It's not about avoiding problems, but finding the strength to confront them head-on. The moment you stop letting fear dictate your choices, you open the door to endless possibilities. Challenges become opportunities, risks become rewards, and failure becomes growth. That's when you realize fear is only temporary, but the results of overcoming it can last a lifetime. Every great achievement begins with a single step. The idea of solving problems, taking risks, and building something meaningful can seem overwhelming. But the truth is, you don't need to have it all figured out right now. What matters is that you start. I've often said, the impossible is just the beginning. The journey to success isn't about perfection. It's about progress. When Alibaba started, we didn't have all the answers. We were a small group of people working out of a tiny apartment with no money, no advanced technology, and no connections. What we did have was a vision and the willingness to act on it. Each day, we focused on taking one step closer to our goals. Over time, those small steps added up to something far greater than we could have imagined. The most important thing you can do today is take that first step. It doesn't have to be grand or flawless. It just has to move you forward. Success isn't about giant leaps. It's about consistent effort over time. Even the smallest actions, when done with purpose and direction, can lead to extraordinary results. What sets successful people apart is not their resources or talents, but their willingness to start, adapt, and keep going. Every day is an opportunity to learn, grow, and build momentum. The path may not always be clear, and you'll undoubtedly face challenges along the way. But remember, every problem you solve brings you closer to your vision. The journey starts today, not tomorrow. The question is, are you ready to take that first step? The future belongs to those who act, and as you move forward, you'll discover that what once seemed impossible is just the beginning of what you're capable of achieving.
Jack Ma's recent presentation was a masterclass in redefining the principles of success, time, and resilience. His ability to connect deeply with the audience stemmed from his unique approach, sharing timeless wisdom with clarity, optimism, and practicality. With each idea, Jack Ma demonstrated how to take control of life's most valuable resources and turn them into tools for growth and achievement. One of the key ideas Jack Ma shared was the true value of time. He reminded everyone that time is irreplaceable. While money can be earned again, every lost second is gone forever. With his characteristic insight, he encouraged the audience to treat time as their most valuable asset, prioritizing activities that lead to meaningful outcomes. Jack Ma's words resonated deeply as he asked, "Are you spending your time building the future you want?" Another core principle he touched on was the importance of believing in oneself. Confidence, Jack Ma explained, is the foundation of all success. Without it, even the best ideas remain dormant. His iconic question, "If not now, when? If not me, who?" served as a challenge to take ownership of one's journey and stop waiting for perfect conditions to act. His message was a clear reminder that no one will believe in your vision until you do. Jack Ma's insights into achieving success through problem-solving struck a powerful chord. He explained how identifying and resolving problems is the essence of growth, both personally and professionally. The size of the problem often defines the size of the reward, but it's the willingness to take action that sets people apart. His practical approach to creating solutions inspired the audience to look around and start addressing the challenges they see every day. In his signature conversational style, Jack Ma illustrated how big dreams often start with small actions. He shared how progress comes not from giant leaps but from consistent, deliberate steps. By focusing on the immediate needs around them, anyone can build momentum and lay the groundwork for something much larger. This perspective left the audience motivated to start making an impact, no matter how small their initial efforts might seem. Another powerful takeaway was his perspective on fear. Jack Ma explained how fear often paralyzes individuals, stopping them from pursuing their goals. He reframed fear as a natural part of growth and urged the audience to embrace it rather than let it dictate their choices. "Every step you take despite fear is a step toward strength," he said, leaving listeners with a sense of courage to face their uncertainties head-on. The thread running through Jack Ma's talk was the reminder that transformation doesn't require perfection. It requires action. He inspired everyone to move beyond their doubts, leverage the resources they already have, and take the first step toward creating the life they envision. His wisdom reflected years of experience and a deep understanding of what truly drives success. Jack Ma closed his presentation with a profound truth. Success is not reserved for the talented or the lucky, it's for those who dare to act. The journey starts now, not tomorrow. His words left the audience energized, ready to overcome their fears and take the first steps toward their dreams. The journey to success isn't reserved for the smartest, the wealthiest, or the most talented, it's for those who dare to act. Jack Ma's message throughout this presentation emphasized the importance of starting where you are, using what you have, and consistently working toward solving meaningful problems. The insights shared, from valuing time and embracing small beginnings to overcoming fear and building confidence, serve as a roadmap for transforming dreams into reality. But the question remains, how will you apply these lessons to your own life? Will you begin managing your time as the precious resource it is? Will you finally trust in your ability to create something impactful? Every action, no matter how small, can set the foundation for a better future. The time to act is not tomorrow, it's today. Take a moment to reflect on what resonated most with you. Was it the challenge to face fear head-on or the realization that small, consistent efforts lead to big transformations? Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know which insight from Jack Ma inspired you the most. And remember, this isn't a one-time lesson. It's a guide you can revisit whenever you need motivation. If you found this content valuable, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an opportunity to learn and grow. There's much more to explore and discover, starting with our next video, How to Thrive in Hard Times, Believe in the Power of Your Mind. Success begins with action. Start your journey today.